back to my channel. So today we're going to do a part 2 of moving to Canada from the Bahamas express entry process. I get a lot of, well, I guess I don't exactly know what all that you want to know, but I'm going to just tell you what I feel like you should know when you're moving to Canada through the express entry process. And I think like a lot of the questions come about, how is it getting a job? So I did some investigating, not by like intentionally, but the first job that I did get when I first came here, like I said in my previous video, my boss from back in the Bahamas assisted with me getting the job here. But I was working for a few months and that did not work out, and now I'm currently employed elsewhere. So I did have to go through the process of finding a job. And to be honest, my previous employment, where I was previously employed, it didn't really help my status at all, because it actually would have been better if I did not have to mention them, just for personal reasons. But yeah, I went through the process. Like, the first thing you want to do when you're looking for a job, you need to get your resume. You need to understand how to write your resume in the way that Canadians like do their resume. The way it seems here, it seems as if they have like a system that goes through the resume and looks for certain keywords. So you have to figure out what keywords to use, exactly what to use on your resume. For me, the greatest help was going to the YMCA. So go to your nearest YMCA and they're going to help you with writing your resume. They're going to even help you with preparing you for an interview and what the questions are, because honestly, a lot of the questions that they tested me on in the interview are a lot of the same questions that they asked in an actual interview. And over here as well, they do telephone interviews, which is, I had to get really comfortable with doing telephone interviews, because it's a first for me. Like, some places might do 2 telephone interviews and you might not even get a call back, or you might do 1 telephone interview and then you come in for an actual interview. Some places might just go straight to the actual interview, so you never know which place, like what's the process for the place that you're applying. But you just want to be prepared for any aspect. It's really hard to prepare because, like I say, you don't really know the type of questions they're going to ask, but there's a generic set of questions that they always ask, such as, oh, tell me a little bit about yourself. Why did you move here? Like, that's the number one question. Why did you come to Canada from the Bahamas? You know, Canada is cold. Why you come from the Bahamas? You're trying to go to the Bahamas. And then they'll ask, like, what qualities do you possess that you think qualify you for this position, or why do you feel like you're the best candidate? Why do you think you're the best fit for this position? They're going to ask you questions such as, yeah, they're just going to ask you all those questions. One thing I've learned through going through the YMCA, like I said, definitely going to them and learning how to write your resume, because that's the number one. Before you could even get the interview, you need to set up your resume in the right way, because if you don't set up your resume in the right way, you're not going to get no callbacks, you're not going to get no interviews, you're not going to get nothing, because that's how it was for like the first week or 2 after I wasn't working, because I didn't set up, like, I had my resume, but my resume wasn't set up in the Canadian standard of the keywords that you use. And then you also learn that you have to have a different resume for each position that you're applying. So you have to cater your resume and your cover letter for every position that you're applying. And then on top of that is, to me that was a lot of work. Like, to me that was a lot of work, having to cater for every position that you're applying. But you pretty much, like, there are even like if you're applying for like a cashier position, and I have experience in like doing like accounting, but it was more so like bookkeeping. Like, I would talk more about anything that relates to that cashier position. So once you read up on, like, once you're applying for a position, you kind of cater your resume to highlight whatever that position is talking about. Like, if you've done a task that aligns with it, you just you just point to the tasks that kind of align with it, and you don't mention all of the other great ones that feel like you would be. You don't want to, I guess, make you look overqualified or underqualified because you're not matching it, but you have to be a match to the position in order for your resume to be looked at. I hope I'm making sense, but yeah. You just want to try to match up your resume with the position that you're applying to, with the job description, because that's going to play a major role in looking for a job, in getting a call back. That's going to be the major, it lining up with what you're applying for. I hope you get it. But anyway, other than that, the next best resource is just putting your resume on everything and letting people know that you're interested and that you're available to work and you're eligible to work in Canada. So you want to make sure you're on Monster, make sure you're on LinkedIn, make sure you're on, oh man, what's the name? Indeed. Make sure you're on all those job platforms. You have your resume uploaded, because sometimes people would reach out to you not because you applied for a job, but because your resume was available on these job platforms where you have set your setting to public and they feel like you're qualified, which is how I got the job that I have now. Some recruiters had reached out to me regarding the position that I'm working now. And that what you'll find in Canada a lot is you'll have recruiters reaching out to you. I was a bit skeptical going through the whole process of, a recruiter reaching out to me, because I'm like, am I signing away my life? And I'm still trying to figure out like what's the difference between a recruiter hiring you other than, somebody else hiring you, like someone from like an actual company. But I do feel more comfortable with it because with their recruiters, they make sure like they're doing everything by the books. Your taxes are taken out. You have, everything is just so organized, and they make sure like you're good. They make sure you're good, and they make sure that the client is good. They make sure you're both happy. But of course, their priority is always going to be the client. But I would recommend, like, if you have like recruiters reaching out to you, I think if I had the option again, I would try to bargain for a higher salary, because on reading online, they said that the recruiter is never going to really come to you with the salary that the company is willing to go the highest to. But if you settle on it, it's going to be what they're, you agreed to it, and they're going to make it seem like that's the highest they want to go to. But I would just say, like, if they really want you, they reach out to you, I would definitely try to bargain for a higher salary if I can. Don't go too crazy, because it does seem like when you first come here, they kind of want to bargain you down in terms of how much they're willing to pay you. I don't know if it's a newcomer thing, like, because they know like you're a newcomer, but I feel like people don't want to pay you with your worth. And I really have a problem with that, because you should know your value. Like, you shouldn't be trying to get minimum wage from somebody who has a degree. That's just my opinion. I don't feel like if I have a degree, you should be trying to pay me minimum wage just because I'm a newcomer to Canada. And I've heard several stories through the YMCA of people that had to settle for mediocre salary or mediocre jobs just because they're new to Canada and their degree wasn't received in Canada, and they don't have the Canadian work experience. Like, I feel like in terms of certain things, like, my knowledge is universal. If I have accounting knowledge, my accounting knowledge is universal. I could learn to adapt to a Canadian tax system since I'm from the Caribbean and that's not what we use, but that doesn't knock the fact that I still know how to do accounting. Debits and credits is debit and credits, and accounting software, QuickBooks is QuickBooks, and one software is, that's the same software. You're just learning to adapt to the new the new country that you moved to. But yeah, that's my pet peeve. Like, they're gonna try to hire you in like warehouse positions, or like they're just not gonna want to pay you. But don't settle. YMCA, is very, very helpful. Like I said, if you're moving here as a newcomer, definitely the first place you should go to is the YMCA for help. And I don't think the employment services are offered at like all of the YMCAs, but you can look, like you can go to the nearest one to you and find out where the employment services are offered, because they also have job fairs as well that can help you with your hiring. And you just want to have a good personality. Make sure people feel your personality. I feel in Canada, personality is a lot. Like, you don't want to come there, yeah, I trying to get this job, I just trying to get paid. Yeah, we trying to get paid, we trying to pay our bills. But Canadians, I realize, like, they love personality. They want to see your personality. They love people who smile a lot, and people who seem energetic. Even if you ain't actually energetic, just pretend to be energetic just for the sake of the interview. Be eager for to ask them questions, because they like that on interviews too. Like, they want, like, when you can ask them some sort of question, and it be like some, like, even if you just asking them what's the dress code or something, like, they just want you to ask them questions so it could seem like you're interested in the position. And I realize too, in Canada, they love following up. Like, you are gonna have to follow up. Like, once you go on an interview, or once you get a telephone interview, they're expecting a follow up like that next day. I'm not used to that, and I wasn't doing that, and I feel like maybe that might have hurt me getting like positions that I had telephone interview for, because I'm like, if you telephone interview with me, I don't feel like I need to send you a thank you like that next day if I'm thanking you on the phone. But I feel like in Canada, that's a big thing. You need to say thank you the next day, and yeah, that's a lot. I was waiting like the next week, maybe a week and a half, and by then I feel like they wouldn't really want to respond. So you want to follow up like that next day, maybe 3 days at most. So yeah, this is the part 2. I'm gonna have another part where I talk about I guess housing, and that's gonna come in the other part of this video. I'm also gonna see if I could like insert clips or links, if I could, to YMCA stuff, because even before you move here, if you're going through the express entry process, there are sites, like, it's through the Government of Canada site, but there are like programs that you can register for before coming to Canada. Like that, I think there's like resume writing things that you can start like enrolling for. It's like free stuff before you come to Canada. Like, you can sit what is it called, like online classes almost. I like go through online classes and tutorials. It's gonna help you before you come. I didn't, like, I think I realized that like a week or 2 before I came, and I only did maybe like 1 video, so I didn't get to do it. But I didn't feel like, I felt like I wasn't so much into like going through the whole learning too much things before I came, because I was like, I didn't have a job. But yeah, I had to learn it at the YMCA. And the YMCA has workshops for everything, so like I said, they're very helpful, and it's free. It's all free. You don't have to pay for anything. And what I like about the express entry is, there's just so much opportunities for you to get help from like the YMCA or different organizations, because you came here through express entry as a permanent residency. I don't know if it's like for all Canadian residents, or if it's just for Canadian residents through the express entry or the skills worker, or through that process. But it's definitely a help. Like, they even have like free language classes. I signed up for it. It's a long wait, but it's still a free language class like that I'm gonna get eventually, hopefully, as long as they have space. But they have free language classes where you can improve your English or you can improve your French. But of course, for you to move here, you have to meet a certain minimum in English or French before you can move here anyway. So, but I wanted to learn French as a second language, so I will be doing that. I hope I didn't ramble on too much and that you got the point of this video. If there's anything that I did not cover, please let me know. The YMCA, when you go there, they would also help you if you need, help finding, like if you came in too late at night and you didn't get your social security number, they're going to help you with that. Like anything that you need, they're going to know a contact for anything that you need. Like they're going to tell you who to contact for anything that you need. So they're definitely helpful. I think they even have they have contacts like in terms of if you're looking for housing as well. I haven't tried it, but they'll give you like the best sites to go to or different sites that you can go to in terms of finding housing. But like I said, I'm going to mention that on another video. Also, what I want to mention is when you come here, do not accept a job that is not going to deduct your taxes, because I'm going to have another video of my reaction to my first year of paying taxes and filing taxes. I'm going to tell you all about that because that was a reaction in itself. And also you're going to have a reaction to what I thought about my first paycheck where they deducted taxes. So I went through the process of being paid without any tax deduction for like the first 6-7 months that I was here, and now I'm working at a job now where they deduct the taxes, and you can see that in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more videos and post any questions that you have down below. Bye!